WWE has always had a habit of playing the long game with storytelling, but sometimes their decisions scream short-term gain, long-term confusion. And now, one move is sparking more questions than answers. Goldberg might be making a comeback. That's right, the former Universal Champion, known for explosive entrances and controversial finishes, is reportedly being considered for another run. If you're enjoying this kind of in-depth, no-fluff breakdown, hit that subscribe button right now. We drop the real stories WWE won't tell you. This isn't about nostalgia or one more spear-laced farewell tour. This feels like another chess move, another plan to use an aging megastar to distract from rising talent and reshape the heavyweight division, and fans are starting to call it out. Why now? Why bring back a legend who's already had multiple farewell bouts, unless WWE is intentionally trying to inject a headline-grabbing moment into a card that otherwise lacks mainstream attention? The company knows that a Goldberg return instantly garners press, gets casual fans curious, and gives them a figure around which to build suspense. But let's not pretend this doesn't come with collateral damage. Every time WWE resurrects a legend, someone from the active roster gets buried. Think back to how The Fiend was handled when he faced Goldberg. Fans still haven't forgiven that. Goldberg squashed him and derailed months of storytelling in a single match. It sent a message. Marketability sometimes trumps momentum. And if WWE is bringing Goldberg back again, the question isn't just who he'll face, it's who he'll step over to get there. Imagine being a powerhouse like Bronson Reed or a fan favorite like LA Knight, grinding weekly, earning reactions, moving merchandise, only to get sidestepped because a legacy name is back in town. WWE might see it as good business, but the locker room and the hardcore fans see it as sabotage. This pattern isn't new. Just look at what they did with Jey Uso. Jey was riding a career-high wave, main eventing, connecting with fans, and organically becoming one of the most beloved faces on the roster. He was finally getting a push that felt earned. But then came the reset. Gunther's dominant streak was protected, the Intercontinental narrative was frozen, and Jey was suddenly on the outside looking in. And now it looks like Goldberg is the next sledgehammer to fall. WWE isn't just bringing him back for a cheap pop. They're crafting a story that could eclipse the current crop of stars. If rumors are to be believed, Goldberg could even be inserted into a title picture, or used to put over someone they feel isn't connecting fast enough. Either way, it warps the natural evolution of storylines. Fans are savvy now. They know when something's earned versus when something's handed out for optics. Goldberg's return would feel like WWE trying to recapture the glory days by bypassing the present. But this move also reveals something deeper: WWE's insecurity about their current top tier. While Roman Reigns is off TV and Cody Rhodes is being carefully balanced as a top babyface, there's a vacuum in raw, heavyweight energy. Gunther, as dominant as he is, still hasn't had that jaw-dropping feud since WrestleMania. Seth Rollins is recovering. CM Punk's status is uncertain. So WWE turns to what they know: Goldberg. They think if they can't build it, they'll borrow it. But here's where it could backfire. The audience has changed. What worked in 2016 doesn't hit the same in 2025. We want layered stories, characters with arcs, not one-off nostalgia spectacles. Bringing Goldberg back risks exposing WWE's creative fatigue. If he's used to squash someone, backlash will be loud. If he's protected and loses in a close match, fans will still question why someone like Carmelo Hayes or Ilya Dragunov couldn't have had that spot. The message to younger stars becomes muddled. Work hard, stay ready, but if a legend returns, step aside. And yet, there's still a part of the audience that loves a big return. WWE banks on that. They know Goldberg will trend, they know mainstream media will run stories, and they know it adds a layer of unpredictability, but the danger lies in making that unpredictability routine. If WWE keeps pressing this nostalgia button, it could wear thin. Because once the Goldberg pop fades, you're left with the same questions. Who's building the future? Who's the next breakout star? And if you keep sidelining them for returns, how will they ever get their moment? It's not that Goldberg shouldn't return. It's that his return has to serve a purpose beyond ticket sales. Maybe let him pass the torch. Let him elevate someone who actually needs the rub, not just protect his image. Imagine Goldberg putting over a young star clean. How massive would that be? It could heal past damage and give WWE the credibility boost it desperately needs with hardcore fans. But history says that's unlikely. WWE loves its legends, but it often forgets how to use them without hurting momentum. Just like they did with Jey Uso, just like they did with The Fiend, and just like they might do again. If Goldberg's return ends up costing someone a title opportunity, or if it interrupts a well-built feud, expect fans to speak loud and clear. The WWE Universe isn't shy anymore. Social media will erupt, and the company will be forced to listen, eventually. So here we are again, on the brink of another polarizing decision. Goldberg's legacy is secure, but WWE's booking isn't. And the next move they make could define the summer, and maybe even the path to WrestleMania 41. Will they finally use a legend to elevate? Or will they sacrifice momentum for a headline? And now let's take a deeper look at the possible aftermath. If Goldberg does return and is slotted into a major match, the ripple effects are massive. Let's say he faces someone like Gunther. A win would be catastrophic. It kills the dominant streak. A loss still risks undermining Gunther's aura if Goldberg dominates large portions of the match. That's not a win-win. It's damage control in disguise. And if Goldberg is inserted into a feud with someone like Cody Rhodes, that completely stalls Cody's carefully laid path. The finish the story narrative is still raw and evolving, and Goldberg does nothing to enhance it. In fact, his presence could dilute it. Then there's the merch machine, LA Knight. Here's a guy who's done everything right, connected with the crowd organically, and built a groundswell the old-fashioned way. But he still hasn't been given that big feud to cement his main event status. WWE choosing Goldberg over someone like Knight says a lot about how they view short-term headlines over long-term brand building. Even if Goldberg only appears for a few weeks, the TV time, the main event slots, the promotional focus, it all gets siphoned away from talent who need it more. That's what fans are frustrated by. Not just the return itself, but what it represents. A pause on progress. WWE needs to understand that legends should be used to build the future, not remind us of the past. If this Goldberg story is going to work, it must end with him doing the honors for someone who can carry that moment forward. Someone who can take the torch, not just pose with it. And if WWE misses this opportunity again, then they're not just risking one storyline. They're risking the entire foundation they've spent the last 2 years rebuilding. What's even more frustrating for fans is the transparency. This isn't subtle, it's obvious. Goldberg's name leaks at the exact time creative feels stale. It's not coincidence. It's the classic WWE smokescreen. Big name, big moment, distract from what's not working. But the problem is, fans aren't distracted anymore. They're dissecting everything. Every match layout, every promo direction, every roster decision. And when a return like this happens, it doesn't live in a vacuum. It creates ripple effects across the brand. One misplaced push sets 3 other stories off balance. So when Goldberg returns, it's not just a personal comeback, it's a test. A test of WWE's ability to adapt, to evolve, and to commit to the future it keeps claiming to build. If they fail this test, there won't be another nostalgia act left to hide behind.